Good morning. Today is Friday, January 21st of 2022, and I'm here with another video trying to bring out something to an attention for those that might be suspecting something that might not arrive. Well, let's first kind of update you guys. I'm here in Lancaster. It's a town about 15 miles north of Stanford where I live, heading to Lexington. The main roads are dry and white from salt. Um, it was 14 when I woke up this morning. Right now in my car I'm driving, it's 19. It's supposed, I believe, to get to 22, maybe 24 by the middle of the day. And then tonight we're supposed to have it drop till to 8. So it's going to be a cold day today. Why am I going to Lexington? I have no clue. It's just I need to make some money. That's all I know. Is it safe? The main roads, yes, they should be safe. The side roads, it depends. The shaded areas, probably the worstest parts will be because they will be still wet and icy, unless they're salted. I'm hoping because of the cold day, there won't be as much of drivers, so hopefully will be a good day because it is cold. Yesterday, it didn't felt as cold. Today, it's really cold. Now, let's get down to the topic. And this only concerns people that have children and been receiving advanced child tax credit. Those are the deposits you were receiving for the last 8 months or so into your bank account, or you were receiving a check from government. Yeah, that's the child advance credit. What does that actually mean? That means the money that when you were filing a tax return and you had kids and you were I believe it was $3,800 or something. Personally, I'm not a tax accountant, so it is for entertainment purposes only. And second, I have not done my taxes personally for over 10 years, so I don't even know what's exactly done. I know it used to be at 1,380 a year per child. So those are the money that you would actually apply towards your income and end of the year when you do taxes, and then they would actually send you a check. A lot of people are looking forward to that check for that March, April, and then they'll go and buy a car or something else, and so here, keep in mind, and thank you for the comment. And then end of the year, you would receive that money and you would go and actually spend it, buy something, bigger. This year, you're not going to get those money because you already gotten them throughout the year on monthly basis. There will be people this year that actually will owe IRS because that amount that they got for child tax credit will actually turn them upside down on their taxes. And I'm only talking to those that are actually employed, not self-employed. If you were employed in 2020 and then in 2021 you were self-employed, you probably, and you have, let's say, 3 kids, you probably could even own more than you were suspecting to own. Yes, it is sucks. That's all I can say. And I'm not a professional, so you do have to talk to an accountant on that, but I believe that's how it's going to play out. How it's going to impact us as drivers, as gig workers, as those that actually have eBay, Amazon store, and you're not selling something that people needed, you're selling something that people would love to have. And usually those items that love to have, the vacations and etc., those are the items that people spend on when they do receive that when they have the extra money, they have that extra income. And when this year is going to impact those people, they're going to impact people with the kids, how is it going to impact us? I personally believe those that are looking for a tax return, for to make major sales, have a major incomes in the during the tax season, suspect less. Yes, there will be a little increase because there's a lot of people that claim zero on their tax on their W-2 or the W-4, I believe that's the one you fill out to an employer, and then end of the year they will get back because they have no kids. They paid extra in, but the rest of those that claim the more that they should have on their W-4 will be actually getting the opposite reaction. I will turn my phone because otherwise I cannot see the comments. So first comment is, I have 3 kids, so I'm not worried about taxes. Especially if you're self-employed, it will. You're talking about if I'm correct, that's $3,800. You're talking about almost under $12,000 of child's tax credit, which now you received in advance. You might actually feel it, man. Now, I'm not going to call out the names. Now the next, not when you claim zero on dependents. Now, when you claim zero on dependents and you're not self-employed, that means the tax credit that you received, you already received. For child tax credit received, you already received it in advance. And then the tax credit for you and your spouse, those are the ones you will still be able to receive or count it towards your income. So you will possibly have a lot smaller, but still a return. Now, as a self-employed, you don't pay taxes in advance. And because not paying taxes in advance, it will go against that dollar amount. So, if you're good and you're able to, write off a majority of all your income, then in that cases you will still possibly get something back. But if you do poorly on your Schedule C on your tax return, which is a schedule that majority people use as a self-employed sole proprietorship on a level, then you might get nothing, maybe have some little that you'll owe. So yes, that thing will play a little in your favor as well as against you. So let's see. Okay, that's about all the comments so far. So guys, why I brought that, why I made this particular video. First of all, for people, instead of suspecting something big and huge from IRS in March, they suspect less. Because in reality, if you have kids, it will be less. 2, because we gig workers, we depend on people spending money. And as we experienced a reduced amount of deliveries in the month of January, it will continue into the month of February due to, because a lot of people spend a lot of money during Christmas. They overspend. Right now they need to tighten it up. They need to pay off those credit cards that they pumped up. And a lot of those people are suspecting that they'll be able to reduce their debt when they get a tax return. And a lot of people are suspecting, put it away for their vacation and etc., etc. When the tax return comes back, you know, those that actually suspecting a check and they're not going to receive the check as they were suspecting, it will actually throw a fear into a lot of those people. They'll either say, we're giving out the vacation, or we're going to have to save it heavily to have the vacation in summer, or whatever the situation is. And by not getting that money that they received, it will create a tension and less spending, which will fall into our category in food delivery. And we will not see that pump that usually happens around March, April, especially, and May in deliveries. So, what I'm trying to say, end of the day, sit down, create a budget. Budget in as minimum spending as you can, so you can put something aside. So when we start having these days and weeks and months of not receiving the amount we were suspecting to receive in income, we can pull through, especially if there's a big crisis. Because with something that boiling in Ukraine, and between Russia and Ukraine, guys, I'm Ukrainian. Even though I left there, I was a child, was 9-year-old or 8-year-old, but I still have family there. In the best company, I had contractors who were working for us from there. And a lot of them are not saying it's going to turn out good. How it's going to unfold, I'll tell you guys, it's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be a great one. And it might impact the whole, if that war goes and it turns into a nasty war, it's probably going to impact the whole world, and the whole world will be dragged into it. So, also another reason why you might actually play this out carefully and put some money aside. Crypto, right now as we are speaking, it's crashing. It broke this night or yesterday evening. It broke under 40,000. Not the best place to put the money in right now until it drops. Go back to my last video and listen how low crypto will be going. And if you consider investing into crypto, do it when it drops to the bottom. Not right now. This is not the bottom. At least I don't believe this is the bottom. But at the end of the day, you do want to put it in something that actually will hold price. Because I do not know. There's various different versions that this can play out. Maybe I'm just panicking. Maybe nothing's going to happen at all. But you do want to be safe. Especially a dream I had, not this night, but the night before. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But again, if that dream has anything to do, we will lose loved ones. It's not going to play out good. And survival, moving between places, on foot majority of the time, is going to be the reality. I do not know how far the dream says it's going to happen. But something in this world is brewing. And everything, as you guys can see with the child tax credit and with everything else, they're not doing it in our favor. Let me ask you this question. Would you rather receive that $200? 200, I believe. I don't remember. It's something is coming in on a monthly basis. Would you rather receive that on a monthly basis and then not get it at the end of the year? Or would you rather have received that in the end of the year? A lot of people got used to receiving at the end of the year, and government has changed things around. People enjoyed it, receiving on a monthly basis. But now, are they ready to see the consequences, or how would be the right word, what would happen at the end of the year? So guys, let's say I am wrong completely. This is the bottom on crypto. This is, this is the worst we'll have, and we'll have a beautiful life rest of the way. But still, end of the day, we do want to live a smart life. We want to live a wise life. We want to go out and make as much as we can as we feel safe. Don't do something outside of being feel safe. And put something aside. My personal opinion is this. Every family should have at least a $30,000 emergency fund. This fund where they can tip into it at any time. Now, do I have a $30,000? No. Do I have a $10,000? Be honest right now, no. I'm actually having an emergency fund that actually below $10,000, and what I consider myself, because I am living partially off of that emergency fund, because I constantly tapping in. I did weekly deposits from the rideshare or the delivery comes in, and then actually I live off of it again. So I am constantly living off my emergency fund. I consider that being upside down. So I am upside down based on that. My first step is actually rebuilding my emergency fund. Reach it back to my 10,000, lock it up. We're to a point where I don't have to live off of it, and then bring it back to a 30,000 where I would be comfortable. 30,000 for me is a minimum to get by for a year, maybe a year and a half, if I really tighten all the expenses up. And I believe what's happening right now in the world, person needs to have between 6 months to at least a year where they need to lock up. Second, too, in case we have to immigrate. How much that thing gonna cost? And that was another reason why either live for at least a year, or maybe use the funds in case there is an international emergency and things don't play out in our favor. Guys, be smart, be wise, and having that extra savings, that's extra emergency fund, it will never play out bad for you, but at the same time can also help you out. Now, where would you actually hold that emergency fund? Holding it at home, not safe. Maybe holding 10 or 15% of it, maybe, just in case. Hold it into the bank. Again, if something serious starts brewing, these banks will disappear. They'll just poof. And FCC or whatever that insurance that you see on the bank door says, they won't pay you a penny. And if they do exist for the next 30 years, then they'll pay out that amount that they owe you on the 29th year. What does that mean to you? 29 years later, you'll receive that check for the amount that they insured you at the bank. With inflation and everything, it's gonna worth nothing. So don't count on that insurance. Where to hold money? I'll be honestly, probably again, gold is overpriced, silver is overpriced, but you want to hold something in a form of something that actually holds value and it's not overpriced and will continue to hold value just in case all this goes down. But again, can this happen? Who knows? So guys, be wise, be smart. Let me check if there are any messages. And yes, you are right. There is nothing in this world for free. And you want to, make sure that you are taken care of when, in case things does go south. And second part of it, you said nothing for free, and I agree with you. But there's also second part. There's people that taking advantage of us, right and left. Example like the DOORDAsh, taking advantage of the customer, the restaurant, and then the drivers that taking these deliveries at $2, $3, and $4. So, that's just an example of one. And the more we allow these companies to take advantage of us, the more they will continue doing so. And people are hungry. I, it's hard to believe that people these days do not have enough of food in their fridge or in their pantry to last them a week. They'll actually turn to an app and double pay the price for the food, what actually would be at the restaurant menu price, and then in addition to that, they will consider that to be a great deal. But when it comes down to a tip, they'll scream and cry, but the food is overpriced. But when you were ordering, it was not overpriced. But when you came to the tip, it became overpriced. Wow. Maybe you need to go to a grocery store. Store up buy some rice. Buy some frozen chicken, beef, whatever it is. Some frozen vegetables. Buy some of that stuff and start cooking at home. Then it's not going to be overpriced. Yes, the food is becoming more and more expensive at the grocery stores, and I'm not saying it's not. It's true. Some of the things doubled in price at the grocery store. Then hey, if it's too expensive for you at the grocery store, maybe you need to put together a greenhouse and start growing things out. And not just, feeding your family, but also feeding your neighbors. That's going to be the cheapest way if you're going to do it right. Hey, too many ideas were throwing out this video. Guys, I hope you found something, you heard something. I brought something to your attention, especially when it comes down to Texas. And also, hopefully, the ideas that we hear on YouTube. Oh, January, February is going to be the best month out of the year. We already know January is not the best month out of the year. That means February is not going to be the best month of the year. People are coming around and says, hey, tax season is going to be the best month out of the year. Guys, I just told you guys, there's a huge possibility it's not going to be the best months out of the year. Summer, I do not know. I still have a hard time predicting because it is a different industry, food delivery, compared to us selling computers and projectors and etc. on eBay and Amazon in the previous business I was a CEO of. But summer usually was our slower months, but they were not as bad as was January and February. But they were slower. We were started picking up when people started going back to colleges and schools. That's when we started picking up in our industry. People started buying those computers, buying those laptops, buying tablets, buying printers and servers and etc. So we're start seeing a big pickup in August, September. Is that same with food? I do not know. I still have to sit down and think, but I'm definitely not suspecting a huge increase during tax season. That's just a fact. So guys, be blessed. Be successful. As you go out, make the best decisions in your favor. Do not allow nobody to take advantage of you. And I bless every single one of you. Take care.